As a paper artist, I'm inspired in my art and in my life by old fairy tales and past centuries. Echoes from the 18th century can be found everywhere in my home, and they cannot fail to inspire me when I get dressed in the morning. I may not have a dress that is the color of the weather, like donkey skin, or a fairy godmother to transform my worn-out clothes into a splendid ball gown. I can still gather all my fantasy together and combine clothes and accessories to create everyday different outfits, which will not only uplift my mood, but be a sort of armor and boundary between the grey, sometimes depressing world and my own personal dreamland and my kingdom of fairy tales. Dressing in the morning, taking some time to choose our clothes, to match colors, shapes and textures, can sound like the most frivolous thing to do and a complete waste of time in our modern lazy world which only praises saving time and effort at all cost, where elegance is banished most of the time from the street, the shop, where everywhere we go. One has only to pay attention to the way people dress in public transport in the street to notice that most people dress the same way and wear the same colors: black, grey, brown, beige, white, blue. Though they might look superficial, our clothes reveal everything about ourselves. Not only our taste, but our wish to be invisible or visible, our optimism, our mood, our need to belong to the group, to trends, our approach to details, to fashion, to the past, to the future, to beauty, to creativity. In my studio, I only create clothes for my characters in paper, which is a step of the creation I love doing. I dress in the studio with the same clothes that in my home. I only wear aprons. And at times, I'm also inspired to get dressed like my characters. But I'm always curious and interested to know how some favorite artists or writers of mine were dressed when creating. One of my favorite painters from the 18th century, Elisabeth Vigée-Lebrun, writes very interesting things about her clothes and dressing and her approach to clothes in her memoirs. I always lived very economically. I spent very little on dress. I was even reproached for neglecting it, for I wore none but white dress of muslin or lawn and never wore elaborate gowns excepting for my sitting at Versailles. My headdress cost me nothing because I did my hair myself, and most of the time I wore a muslin cap on my head. I could say, like Elisabeth Vigée-Lebrun, that I spent very little on my clothes. Most of my clothes come from shops selling past collection, from thrift stores sometimes, from second-hand shops. Some are given by friends, some are old clothes from the late 19th century or beginning of the 20th. Some I received as presents, and here is a bit of my growing collection of old clothes with some shirts, some petticoats. I have some nightgowns. The nightgowns all belong to family members for most of them. And the collars, the neck collars, were made by my great-great-grandmother, so the grandmother of my grandmother. And they're all really beautiful, and I cherish them and I wear them from time to time. I love reopening books of house management and read all their recommendations, not only to dress but also to take care of our clothes, which is so refreshing in our decadent fast fashion time and century. Like ironing, there are a big paragraph about ironing, the tools you need, how you need to do it, the importance of it. I personally love ironing clothes, well, especially beautiful and old ones, because it allows you to appreciate all the beauty of their details, their amazing invisible hems, which make them so beautiful from the inside and outside, and also help them last a bit longer. And when I'm not ironing, I also like to take care of my boots, just the same way to help them last longer. I recently found this fascinating book about propriety and seamliness at the old bookshop. It was published in 1782 and it says very interesting things about our outfits. Though they might seem a bit outdated, I find them still interesting. Propriety is part of seemliness and is useful to let the mind and virtue of a person be known. It is impossible to see someone wearing ridiculous clothes, not thinking that this person is as ridiculous as her clothes. If our clothes are neat and clear, which clothes don't matter. We will always look nice even in poverty. I recently repaired a favorite dress of mine that I stopped wearing as it was too worn out and had too many holes and was not possible to wear anymore. But I decided to apply this wise recommendation found in Le Livre du Foyer, a book about household management, and here it says, one has to be careful to everything. A rent, a part which is worn out, a missing button, a missing stitching, everything has to be repaired. Here is a new napkin with a little hole. She will use this hole as the center of a little flower. So I'm applying this recommendation from this book to this dress, taking advantage of all the little problems I had to embellish it and to add some pieces of lace I had been given recently a few months ago. I had been given a big bag of laces and ribbons just to embellish or to ornate some clothes. I also use it for this green dress I bought last autumn, and I think it makes it look much more fancy with this old lace on it. So this is my new old shirt, which I actually bought probably more than 15 years ago, and I wear it all the time till it was really worn out. I managed to really fix all the problems and embellish it with my little lace here, and I'm really happy. I will try though, when I'm really starting my sewing projects properly, to do a sort of copy of this one because I really love it, but for now I'm quite happy I can wear it again. We are going to revisit in a little while my 18th century book I bought in the old bookshop from 1782 with a recommendation for politeness, behaviors, conversation, way to behave. It's very inspiring, very contrasting with the world we are living right now, and I think we could all benefit from some of these advices. So I only picked up a few things for this video today, but there are many more things I would like to share with you in an upcoming video. I always wear the same clothes inside and out. At home I don't wear lounge clothes or anything like that. And I like to wear nice clothes even to accomplish all the daily tasks like cleaning, sweeping, all these things. I find that wearing nice clothes even at home, even working, help me get ready for the day, inspired and motivated. I read some interesting lines again in Le Livre du Foyer about being elegant at home and as clothes as a mood uplifter, which I found also very inspiring. A woman in her home must be more flexible and gracious than in the street. Her clothes must be lighter and brighten the house and add a certain elegance and life to it. I like this idea that our clothes and outfits are part of our home decor and should brighten the home. To our opinion, the indoor dress has to follow 3 rules. Being put on very quickly, it shouldn't be tight at the waist, and should give an impression of freshness and joy. Nothing is as ugly as to walk indoors in petticoats. A good home mistress can be introduced to strangers at any time of the day without having to worry about her messy outfit. I also wanted to say, if you like paper cloth, not fabric cloth, but paper cloth, I have several workshops which include some paper cloth. There is of course the Marie-Antoinette workshop and her wardrobe, which is going to reopen a little later this spring. And there is also the rabbit on his carriage. You can find this workshop on my website at learnthemagicofpaper.com, and this one is open right now. So if you want to do a hair, which is pretty nice for Easter and for the spring season, dressed with an outfit and a carriage too. You don't have to do the carriage if you don't want to do it, but we are doing it too. But we are also doing some paper clothes in this workshop. You can join it now, and you will have the link under this video, and the Marie-Antoinette workshop and her wardrobe, which includes several dresses which are removable that you can decide to have on Marie-Antoinette or not. This one will reopen a little later this spring, and you also have the details under this video. Let me know what is your approach to your own clothes and dressing, and in your country maybe it's different than here. Are you really creative, and do you dare dressing in a pretty bold way sometimes when you go outside for work or in the streets or shopping? Or are you a little scared to try bold shapes or colors, and you are not really comfortable being noticed in the street? I think it's a pretty interesting conversation. I mentioned that in the video that Michel Pastoureau said, contrary to the common belief, most people don't want to be noticed. I was really surprised when I was reading that it was actually a choice, that people dress in black, grey, beige, and with the most classic shapes possible. I thought it was really interesting. Let me know what is your approach to clothes and to colors and to shapes and to being noticed or not noticed. Thank you very much for watching this little video about clothing. I will come back very soon. For now, you can give a thumbs up if you appreciated what you saw, and you can subscribe if you don't want to miss all the nice videos coming.